Hi everybody out there, Maple Ridge. Happy Canada Day. I'm Laura Johnson. I'm a local artist and art instructor here in Maple Ridge. And we're all celebrating Canada Day in different ways, and I'm here to show you how to make some Canada Day crafts at home with supplies that you have around the house or in the garage. So let's get started. Today we're going to make a fireworks picture using toilet paper rolls for your fireworks, but we're going to do it in two ways. We're going to do more of like an elaborate style, or if for little kids, we can just do fireworks. So I'm going to show both ways. So we're going to need a few different supplies from home. My favorite is just if you have white paint in your garage, that's going to work the best. Right here, I just had a can of primer, which is essentially white paint, and it's going to work really great for this project. So if whatever colors you have, you can use. It's up to you. But I also have some tubes of paint because I'm going to make colored fireworks, some toilet paper rolls, sidewalk chalk. This is just my red paint that I have from home. A little bit, like I put some water in a spray bottle. I found some craft sparkles in my supplies, but you could use any kind of sparkles that you have, and it's just a nice little touch after. What else do we have here? Some scissors, and a plastic spoon. So let's get started, guys. First thing you're gonna need to do is get your chalk. And I got this chalk. This is some fancy chalk that I got at Michael's. But you can also, I know I got this chalk in my kindergarten supply package, but any chalk will do. And even if you have just white, that's fine. So to make this a Maple Ridge scene, I'm going to draw golden ears in the background. And I'll show you the one that I did already. So it got a little bit blurry, but there's Golden Ears Mountains in the background, Haney Wharf here, the Billy Miner pub building, and then some trees. So I'm going to encourage you to find something maybe in your neighborhood, depending on where you are in Maple Ridge, if it's Albion, Wannock, the Alouette area, or whatever you can find that's sort of local in your neighborhood. So again, I'm going to pick Golden Ears Mountain, and I'm going to use blue. And so I'm actually going to draw upside down for you guys so you can see better. Okay, so Golden Ears has two distinct peaks, and I'm just going to make two peaks, and then I'm going to taper it off because I want to add the river in mine. So I do this upside down, and so the river is kind of coming in through here. And then I'm going to draw some green trees. And a lot of people have trees in your neighborhood, and trees are very simple to draw. You just have a peak at the top and then kind of some triangles coming out the bottom, and then it looks like a tree. And remember, I'm drawing upside down, so it's best I can do, but it's looking like cedar trees, and then you can even just go like that. So I'm going to simplify mine just a little bit and see how it just, whatever colors you have are going to work, even if you just have white. And what else do we have going on? So just to get the basic sketch going, I'm going to do Haney Wharf right here. This is a little dock. Just so you can get a sense of, okay, this is Maple Ridge. When there's train tracks in there too coming down. I'll turn it around and jazz it up later. So now we have our basic starting point. And again, this is black Bristol board. You can do it on white paper if you just have white paper, and I forgot to mention that. So next is to make our stamps, essentially. I have 3 different sizes, a small, a medium, and a large. You don't want to cut too far down because the larger it gets, the harder it is to make a nice firework. So you want to take your toilet paper roll and your scissors and just cut. I'm cutting about 1/3 of the way down, and again, you don't want to cut past halfway, otherwise it just gets too big and it won't make a nice firework. Okay. Now, just kind of lightly push it down and then press it all down with your hands, and you can even just go like that. You want to make it so it's a nice fold, so it makes a really nice stamp, because this is essentially a stamp that we're making. So it should just look just like that, and if they're uneven, that's okay. It's no big deal. I'm going to start, I get my paper plate. And if you have plastic, throwaway, anything that you don't really care about, you can use. It doesn't have to be a paper plate. And then my paint for my garage. I'm just going to use my plastic spoon to just take out a little bit. Wipe it off on the edge so you don't get drips. Put it right in the middle. That should be a good amount. Put your lid back on. Put that to the side. And just take your spoon and gently push the paint around so that all the edges are going to get coated. I have a little container of water right here. Just going to put my spoon in there. Okay, so it's good to start with white first because it makes a nice background for the rest of the fireworks, and because we're working on black paper, it'll just make it pop. So take this and really press it on there. Make sure we've got a lot of paint on there. So the first one's going to be, you can kind of knock off some of the drips if you want, or even wipe it on the edge. Okay, so I want to make like a bit of a burst in the middle. So I'm just going to take this, and I don't go too crazy at first, because you can always add more paint after. And for little kids, this is going to be so much fun. Do one there. And I'm going to do one last one here. Okay, we'll just set that aside. Now I have red paint that was like this, but you can use any kind of paint that you have. Just going to wipe the spoon off so it's clean. And then it's good to just push the paint around on the plate. If you're using tubed paint, you might want to spray a little water in there. I'll show you guys how to do that next to get it nice and flowy. I'm going to take a smaller size. This one I made ahead of time. Just really press it in there. Okay, and then maybe a little more red on that one. now I'm going to do, I really like this fluorescent pink. So you can see how this paint's a little bit thicker. So I'm going to take my water, just spray a little bit on there, my spoon, wipe it off, and then it's okay if a little bit of color gets mixed in there. Maybe just a little more water. You kind of want it the consistency of like cream, or yeah, I would say cream. And we'll just use this one. This one's a bit bigger. I'm going to do a really big pink one over here to show you guys. So see how when it gets a bit bigger, the paint doesn't stick quite so good, so you don't want to get it too big. Really mash it in there. You can drag the edges a bit. And we'll do one big one over here. See the nice bright fluorescent pink color. And then I'm going to take, this is where it can get fun. You can get a lot of fireworks going. Look at that. Maybe a little bit of red in there. So I have, just gonna see how I kind of just touch the edges. You can really start to have fun with it now. And use your different colors. Maybe I want one more pink one. Oh, really gotta get it. That one's in the background. Okay. Now, something else that you have from home, just to make it go a bit faster, is a hairdryer. Hold your paper down so it doesn't go blowing away. Try it. Forgot one thing too. Hold on, getting ahead of myself. Just hit it with a little bit of sparkles while the paint's still wet. Shake them around. And now do the hairdryer. Doesn't have to be fully dry, but just enough so that it gets a drying process going. If you want to continue to use your hairdryer on it till it's fully dry, well, that's up to you. So now I'm going to go back to my chalk, and I'm going to take yellow and white, and I'm just going to showcase that there's a bunch of fireworks happening in Maple Ridge, and make some light behind the mountains here. And then have the fireworks shooting out of downtown Maple Ridge. And just make little motion marks to make it look like it's shooting on Maple Ridge. You can take your finger, kind of blend and make it look like a lot of light in the night sky. I'm also going to do a bit of white in there just to really highlight it. And I have a whole bunch of chalk at home because I'm an artist, but I'm going to take this darker green, just put a bit more green on these trees. And then take my finger, sort of blend it a little bit. Take a nice blue for the river. This is the Fraser River. Actually gonna make the reflection of the fireworks in the Fraser River there. Kind of just make a few starbursts. And then a couple little things you could do to make it look just a bit more Canada Day fun is that sometimes when they have fireworks on Canada Day, they do almost looks like a maple leaf in the sky. A maple leaf, you can make it look like a maple leaf by just kind of almost doing, it's like a star shape will look like a maple leaf. Kind of put a few little points on there. I'm just going to add a few in the middle of my fireworks. And just as long as it sort of looks like a maple leaf, it will look like a maple leaf. So don't worry too much about making it perfect. And maybe just a few little extra bursts around there. And then the most important thing with your artwork is to sign the bottom. So I'm going to turn it around because I can't write upside down. And you could sign it right in the front, or I sign it in the mountain, but I'm going to sign mine in the red right here with the chalk. And that's our finished fireworks piece. So happy Canada Day, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and have a great holiday.